Imagine waking up tomorrow and the sky doesn't move. The sun is frozen in the same spot. No sunrise, no sunset. Just eternal stillness. Sounds like a sci-fi nightmare? Well, it's the horrifying reality of a thought experiment that grips scientists and dreamers alike. Let's start with the obvious. The Earth spins at roughly 1,670 kilometers per hour. That's over 1,000 miles per hour at the equator. You don't feel it because it's constant. But if that rotation stopped suddenly, everything not nailed to the planet, including you, would continue moving at the same speed. Cars would fly. Trees would be ripped from the ground. Even the oceans, obedient for billions of years, would suddenly revolt, surging eastward in a frenzy of kinetic vengeance. The very atmosphere would become a weapon. Winds might exceed 1,000 kilometers per hour, flattening everything in their path. It's a scenario so destructive that it makes asteroid impacts look merciful. And yet, what if the Earth didn't stop suddenly, but slowed, gradually, over centuries? Would we have time to adapt, or would the consequences be just as devastating, drawn out in slow motion? The answer: it might be even worse. With no rotation, Earth would no longer have a 24-hour day. Instead, one side of the planet would face the sun in perpetual daylight, the other, eternal night. But there's more than just light and dark to consider. Photosynthesis would collapse. Plants exposed to constant light would become scorched, while those trapped in endless night would wither from lack of energy. That means the food chain dies from the bottom up. Insects vanish. Herbivores starve. Predators follow. On the sunward side, humans would need to live in bunkers to avoid the searing heat. Entire ecosystems would vaporize. Lakes would boil. The air itself could become toxic with heat-induced chemical reactions. On the dark side, the atmosphere might condense into snow. Carbon dioxide clouds could form. Liquid water would vanish. And in this endless night, only deep-sea or geothermal organisms might cling to life. The twilight zone, the razor-thin strip between burning and freezing, might become Earth's final frontier. But even there, survival would be a constant war with the elements. Earth's shape isn't a perfect sphere. It's an oblate spheroid, bulging at the equator due to centrifugal force from spinning. If the Earth stopped spinning, gravity would pull everything toward the poles. Oceans would migrate. The equator could dry out, forming a mega-continent. Meanwhile, the poles would drown under newly formed super-oceans. Imagine living in Brazil, only to watch your entire region slowly drain into a desiccated basin. Meanwhile, Greenland becomes Atlantis. The redistribution of mass wouldn't just flood coastlines, it would fracture tectonic plates. Earthquakes and volcanic eruptions would spike globally. Fault lines would shift. Mountains might collapse, and new ones could rise where none existed before. This isn't just about weather or gravity. It's about a planet rewriting its own geography. Earth's rotation helps generate its magnetic field, a shield that protects us from solar radiation. Stop the spin, and that magnetic dynamo fades. Slowly but surely, the invisible bubble shielding us from deadly solar and cosmic rays would weaken. Without that protective field, we'd be bombarded by high-energy particles from the sun. Think more than just a bad sunburn. Think DNA damage, mass extinction, and radioactive mutation. Space itself would begin to invade Earth. Auroras, once confined to the poles, would be visible worldwide, but they'd signal doom, not wonder. Radiation storms would become a regular threat, not just to satellites, but to all electronics and even human biology. And with no rotation, the planet's core might cool more rapidly, freezing the internal motion that once sustained the field. Once gone, it might never return. Without spin, Earth would lose its axial tilt. Say goodbye to seasons. The delicate rhythm of spring, summer, fall, and winter. Gone. The sun would blaze constantly over the same spot for weeks, months, maybe years. Crops wouldn't grow, ecosystems would collapse, migrations would stop. Weather patterns, now driven by the Coriolis effect, would cease their familiar dance. Hurricanes, gone. But in their place, new, unpredictable megastorms born from extremes in heat and cold. The troposphere and stratosphere would behave differently without rotation. Jet streams would stall. Storm systems could linger over the same place for weeks. Imagine floods lasting for months, or dry spells that never end. Weather wouldn't be just strange, it would be apocalyptic. It sounds hopeless, but could we adapt? The twilight strip, that narrow band between boiling sun and frozen night, might become humanity's last refuge. Engineers would scramble to build dome cities, powered by geothermal energy. Entire nations might relocate underground or underwater. Artificial light would replace the sun. Climate-controlled ecosystems would mimic seasons. But this would require colossal effort, global cooperation, and technology beyond what we currently possess. Still, the human species has faced extinction-level threats before, and survived. New cultures would emerge, ones not tied to sunrise and sunset, but to heat zones and radiation belts. Our languages, mythologies, and identities might evolve around the constant struggle to find balance in a planet split in half. And maybe, just maybe, we'd find new meaning in what it means to be Earthlings. There's a cosmic irony here. Earth isn't the only spinning body. Every planet rotates, every star spins. Even galaxies whirl like titanic hurricanes. Rotation is written into the fabric of the universe. To stop the Earth is to fight the very laws of motion, to tear against gravity, inertia, and time itself. It's a fantasy, a nightmare, a prophecy, but also a reminder that every sunrise is a miracle of rotation. Every breeze, every wave, every clock tick owes its existence to a spinning blue marble flying through space. So next time you look up at the sky, remember, the Earth spins not because it must, but because it can. And that motion, that simple, unstoppable motion, is the heartbeat of our world. And if you're one of the rare minds who loves exploring the edge of science and the impossible, consider this. 99% of our viewers haven't subscribed. Join the 1% who crave deeper answers. Hit that button, and let's keep spinning into the unknown together.